presented by McDonald's. As Ryan gave it on the reverse to Devin Hester. And I don't think anybody got a hand on him. Maybe just a little touch near the goal line. One of two touchdowns in that first half by Devin Hester, 35-0. You said it in the second quarter. Second half of your Tampa. Just got to come out here and, you're going to see Glennon now at quarterback. You got to play it like it's a scoreless game. You're just starting over. What do you expect you're going to see, though, from the Bucs?
Well, the same thing. Bill Cowher said it. That's what you have to do. Change what you're doing a little bit on each side of the ball. You have to think that the Atlanta Falcons won't be as aggressive on either side of the ball. I expect Matt Ryan, if he plays, to be very conservative. But every phase of the game, the Bucs played bad in the first half, no doubt.
What do you see from the numbers?
Well, I see domination. 18 first downs to 2 says it all. 300 total yards. Listen, in the NFL, you do not see these things happen. You don't even see this up much more in college football. But Matt Ryan, terrific first half. I've never seen wide receivers so open. Jim, I don't think we've done a game where I could see the wide receivers as open as I've seen here tonight. And Matt Ryan actually missed a couple guys. So can't imagine what would have happened if he'd have just been razor sharp.
Well, he was 19 of 22 for 221.
It's unbelievable.
2 touchdowns. And that kick is through the back of the end zone and the touchback. Let's go down to Tracy Wolfson.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. I had a chance to speak with Lovie Smith coming out of the locker room. He said he was just embarrassed by that first half. He said they need to come out and try and get something going, but it is going to be Mike Glennon's job as Josh McCown is out with the right thumb injury. Some updates on the Falcons sideline. Devin Hester has cramps. If they can loosen him up, he'll be back out there. Harry Douglas still questionable with a foot injury. Jim?
All right, thank you, Tracy. And that was the word that you used in that first half. Lovie saying just embarrassed. And let's see what they can present here. The final 30 minutes of this one. They start with a running play with Rainey, and he twists for about 4. Bobby Rainey.
You know, Jim, when you have a game like this is not something you'd like, oh, we'll turn this around right away. It's a slow building process in this league. And, when your offense is struggling or whatever, I was on teams like that, you just don't all but come out in a game and just catch fire and get it going again. There's Josh McCown on the sideline, his hand wrapped up.
Boy, is it ever.
Bill Cowher said it right. They're going to have 10 days to think about this, and there'll be some hard work put in.
2nd and 6. They dump it off to Rainey. Tries to slide away from McLean and manages a yard. 3rd and 5 coming up. And Josh McCown, after a couple of bumpy performances the first 2 weeks, tonight, I think I heard Coach Cowher talk about no rhythm. And then, of course, he had this throw where his hand ended up right up against the helmet, the thumb hitting the helmet of McLean.
When I watched their first 2 games, when there was a guy open, he hit him. Tonight just didn't, you said it right, the rhythm wasn't there, the confidence, missed one early, and it kind of affected him.
3rd and 5, and Glennon escapes the pressure. He's got the first down. As Jackson does a good job of shielding Ishmael, and Glennon is going to hustle back to that huddle. And here's a young man that has a good reason to come out here and put up a spirited second half, the quarterback.
Yeah, it's a good job. Listen, and we talked about this with Matt Ryan in the first half. As a quarterback, don't sit in there and live and die with the play. Look down the field. If you don't spot it and you feel that pressure, take off.
By the way, that 19-yard scramble, the Bucs' longest rush of the night. Logan Mankins, we saw him hobble off late in the first half. He's in there at left guard. On first down, pocket sealed, long ball, and open is Evans. And Evans unable to reel it in. A fraction off with that one.
Yeah, he had it. Just threw it a little too soft down the field that time. And what he did is he gave the backside safety, Lowry, reacted a little late and almost got there. He could have put this on a little more of a line, but that's asking a lot. Look, his first action since preseason for Mike Glennon. Good job of spotting the open Mike Evans down the field.
2nd and 10. it's Rainey. And he lost the football for the second time tonight, and it's all Atlanta on top of it. Bobby Rainey. Remember how hard he was on himself after that fumble early in this game. Second time he's turned it over, and Bartu has the recovery for Atlanta. Malachi Goodman stripped it away from Rainey. And the Falcons have their first drive of the second half.
It's a good start.
Encroachment. Defense, number 92.
William Golston.
5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, you talked about what Tampa's going to do in the second half. What's Atlanta going to do?
Well, I'm interested to see. Will they keep calling plays like they did the start of the game? Will they be aggressive?
First and 5 it is. And Steven Jackson, who had a good first quarter to open up this game, has just a yard right on this one.
One thing you got to do as an offense in a situation like this is protect yourself. And you protect yourself, Jim, you just can't run it up in there and let them tee off and smash you and hit your players, and maybe you get hurt. So you keep the offense going, try to keep it open so the defense still has to respect what you're trying to do.
Second and 4. Huge gap, balls out. And was it thrown back in time? It was. That was quite a play. It was Goldson who threw it back into the field of play. David stripped it. And Tampa has the recovery. Look at Levante David knock it out of the hands of Freeman. Then Deshaun Goldson chases it down. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by the Mazda CX-5. Downright fun and confidence-inspiring on Curving Road. Quicken Loans for a mortgage experience that's engineered to amaze. And by State Farm. Pump up your savings with a discount double check today. Well, they double checked the replay, and that was some save by Goldson. And David, who had stripped it, would also later recover it. So now the Bucs, there was some enthusiasm you spotted on that sideline about that one play they've just made. But James is dropped for a loss of 3.
Well, they're getting something going there. There had to be a lot of yelling going on at halftime in that Tampa Bay locker room. I know that's not Lovie Smith's way of doing it, but
Goldson who kept it in play, but it was David who recovered it after also forcing the fumble.
Corey Peters on the defensive side. He's made quite a few plays tonight.
Yes, he has. He had a sack, and he also forced a turnover that led to the pick 6. And Glennon's throw is knocked down, intended for Jackson. And Robert Alford was the defender, but a flag is out in the area where the ball was thrown in the backfield.
After the play, personal foul, offense, number 63. That's a 15-yard penalty. The down counts. Third down.
Well, there's no 63, so it must be.
Yeah, it's 62.
62, there you go.
Evan Dietrich Smith, the former Packer.
Yep.
That puts the football all the way back at the 25. They've got to get to the Atlanta 47 for the first. 3rd and 28. Brennan's pass almost intercepted. Climbing the ladder was Desmond Trufant.
Vincent Jackson not even looking for the football, but Trufant is a heady player, very competitive.
Wearing that
And the best corner on this team.
well, he was drafted in the 1st round last year, Washington Husky. And he's wearing Dion's old Falcon number. He's the man who broke past Dion's all-time record with returns, and he's ready to handle the football again after some cramps in the late stages of the first half. They still kick it to him at the 22, and Hester gets tangled up for a moment. Look out. Look, I can't believe they gave him the football again. There is a flag out as he tries to cut off the angle, and it was Rainey who was not going to allow him to cut back to the inside. A 53-yard boot and a 39-yard return.
It was a great no block or a shield by Eric Weems to let him turn the sideline.
In the return, block on the back. On the return team, number 52. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Called on Stupar.
Timeout.
There it is, left side of your screen. Thrill every time he touches it. In celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, the Falcons partnered with Gatorade to host a Play 60 camp on Tuesday for 100 kids at the predominantly Hispanic Walters Boys and Girls Club in Gainesville, Georgia. The children participated in a variety of drills assisted by the Falcons players. Celebrate the diversity of the NFL during Hispanic Heritage Month and all season long. So after the penalty on the return, it brings it back to the 18. Jackson for about 4. By the way, our SAP announcer Roberto Abramowitz had this call of the Hester punt return earlier.
Cohen. Con el despeje, alto, alto, le espera Hester en la 39. Encuentra una grieta y a correr se ha dicho. Se va, se va, se va, se fue. Touchdown, Devin Hester.
Yes, it was. 2nd and 6. Short side of the field to Jackson for a yard. Talking to Matt Ryan on Tuesday, we said, hey, we got your guy, Tony Gonzalez. He goes from your team to our team. What are we getting?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was Matt Ryan. He goes, look, he's a lot of fun. He's a good guy. He's very opinionated. And you know he's never wrong. And he goes, I think he's perfect for TV.
Perfect. That makes him a TV guy.
That's right, it does. But, boy, they love Tony Gonzalez down here. And, you know, Matt Ryan, that just shows you the way he gets along with all the players. Doesn't take a lot of credit. He's not out in front of this team. And I think that's why everybody who works hard, he's good. And these Atlanta players respect him greatly, of course.
3rd and 5. And he takes something off of this one. To Hester, who else? And he is finally tackled out of bounds at the 48 by Leonard Johnson, and another 25-yard pickup by Hester.
Yeah, it's a play you see a lot of. The outside receivers, little move, separates from Johnson, and a perfect throw by Matt Ryan. Nice touch on that pass. Little pick play inside. We saw it with Indianapolis many times with Peyton Manning, and now everybody across the league is trying this play. We're not trying it, making it work.
Hester's first catch goes for 25. And on first down, Jackson tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Levante David. We got a flag out and a helmet off. There's Joe Holly, the center.
A little scratch on the head. Usually if there's a little scrum, I would think Joe Hawley has a pretty good chance of being in the middle of it.
Well, we saw him in one in the first half. Trying to recover a fumble.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 97. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Akeem Spence. That'll move the football deep into Tampa territory. And with the NFL Now, you can access the biggest NFL video library on the planet. Select your favorite team or players, and NFL Now delivers nonstop videos on your favorite device. You can get NFL Now free, NFL.com/now. James Russell, lead pitcher for the Atlanta Braves, taking the game in. First down, Ryan. And he's looking for Julio Jones. And, oh, what a catch. Touchdown, Atlanta. How Julio was able to contort, turn around, and be able to find that football.
Well, like a center fielder chasing a long fly ball. And he keeps going, keeps his eyes on it. How about that over-the-shoulder catch?
Had control throughout.
Yep, that's a receiver that's run and caught a lot of footballs. And, you know, great passing teams make throws and catches like that. And if you do that with a certain team that likes to play a different style, when they get opportunities, they don't pull it in. He does it because he gets so many chances in games and every day in practice, and there's a good reason why, because he's one of the best in the NFL.
Well, you know, at Alabama, he did a lot of blocking.
Yeah, that's right.
He ended up being part of that draft day trade where they moved up to get him. And 100% healthy after having to be IR'd last year with a foot injury. His second touchdown of the night. Matt Ryan's missed only 3 passes tonight and has thrown 3 touchdowns. And he's moving in on 300 yards. 7 of his last 7, including the 40-yard touchdown hookup a moment ago with Julio Jones. And Jones has the second highest total of his career in a regular season game with 161. By the way, doubleheader weekend coming up here on CBS, and the big story is the doubleheader game going to most of the nation. Denver, Seattle, the first Super Bowl rematch in the following regular season since 1997. Phil will be there. We're on our way to Seattle right after this one. It all, of course, begins with the NFL today at noon Eastern time.
Matt Ryan's 3 incompletions, 2 of them he had a chance over. Only 1 pass has been defensed tonight by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh, boy.
Oh, look at this. Picked up by the Falcons. Nope. Yes, it ends up the Falcon football at the 1-yard line. It's Michael Johnson. I beg your pardon. It's Mpanga. It reminds me a little bit of the first snap of the Super Bowl back in February. It was right over Glennon. Stanley Mpanga is there and came very close to rolling into the end zone.
It was, could have fair caught it if he got back there, but boy, 42-0.
You look at Dietrich Smith, the center.
It's to a point where now, Jim, the game has gotten so out of hand. You just want a way out of this. You know, a long drive, eat up some clock, do something to move this game along.
We're not even 7 minutes into the second half. And the Falcons going for a 7th touchdown. Coming off their 5th takeaway of the game. Steven Jackson fighting through tackles, still fighting, and he's across for the touchdown.
Well, he's a big running back. Give him a lot of credit. Showed great desire. But it's one team that's clicking, emotionally still into it, and it's just tough for the other team to find enough fight to get it done.
Nope. One-sided affair when it comes to the battle of wills. 2 touchdowns in 12 seconds for Atlanta. To nothing. On Atlanta. It has been ugly from the start. 49-zip. The Skyview Ferris wheel with the breathtaking panoramic views of downtown Atlanta. Oh boy. Here's the old Tampa shirt from back when this franchise started back in the 70s. Got the bag out tonight. And a knee. Listen in on Mike Smith, the best of.
Hey, but keep the hammer down on the ball. We got it. We got the ball. Yes. Yes. Woo. That away. Go. Let's go.
Hey, I'm starting to wonder about the effects of this game for both sides the rest of the season, to have this kind of performance on the Atlanta side and then the possible after effects too for Tampa.
Well, there's going to be some on Tampa's side.
Glennon.
You know, real quick, Jim.
Complete to Stocker.
I said it earlier.
Complete to Stocker.
For Atlanta, you got to keep playing hard. You know why? I said it earlier. You got to keep playing hard because that's how you keep from getting hurt. You can't go out there and be passive. And you talk about this Tampa Bay team, there's got to be some. It's like when you go out and you're a shooter in basketball and you go 0 for 10. The next game, you go out there and go, oh, I got it. It's going to come right back. Or you're playing golf and you snap hook 5 drives in a row. Do you have confidence on your 6th one? No.
There's the 4th first down of the night for the Bucs, and a gain of 11 for a 2nd straight play to Stocker. Sunday on NFL Game Day morning, the guys preview a defining weekend in the NFC East. NFL Game Day morning Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, live on NFL Network.
Look, I know, short week here in this dome against a high-flying offense. No doubt about that for the Atlanta Falcons. You got injuries on Tampa's side, but physically, mentally, in every aspect, they fell apart tonight.
By the way, Vincent Jackson, their #1 receiver, without a catch tonight. As Glennon steps up away from the pressure, lofts it down the field, and he's nearly picked off, incomplete. And it looks like Dwight Lowry is shaken up. And the flag is back in the area of the quarterback, and it's called holding. There it is.
Corner, yeah.
Yep.
Dotson. Man, you jump, that's what happens. You get a bunch of guys around and you jump for the ball, and that contact, you see it every week. Or it's when you land.
This is when you wish you were playing outside, having a softer landing.
Grass. And, you know, listen, this artificial turf, it's not hard. You know, I was down on the field before the game. You walk around, it's soft, but hey, it's not grass. And I can remember when you played on artificial turf and the game was over, the next day you were so sore and you could get beat up and hit the ground a lot on a grass field, and the next day you wake up and go, hey, I feel pretty good, because it was that big of a difference.
Well, able to get up and jog to the sideline. Ishmael comes in for
Lowry. Already with an interception and a run back for a score in the first quarter. It's 21-0 after one, and then the Falcons scored on the first play of the second quarter. Rainey breaks the tackle, a second one, and he's running with determination after a couple of fumbles tonight.
Yeah, it looked like a face mask.
And here comes more action from the officials.
Yeah, let's slow this game down some more.
Yeah.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 62 with a headbutt.
It's the second one.
It's a 15-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Dietrich Smith.
Wow, I'll tell you, it's almost like if I was Lovie Smith, let's call a timeout and let's bring everybody to the sideline and have a little talk.
Head's hanging on the sideline, but this head slammed into the helmet of Paul Warlow. That one might make the wallet a little bit lighter here in about a week's time.
Hey, ho, Bobo.
9 penalties on the night for Tampa Bay as Glennon hits his man in stride. It's Evans to the 24. He came on a 2nd and 30 play. They got 9 of it back. On a night where Tampa has more turnovers than first downs to this point. 5-4. 3rd and 21. Open, but well short of the first is Brandon Myers, former tight end of the Raiders and later the Giants for a year. And they will punt once again.
I'm interested to see if Devin Hester comes out to return this punt.
He's coming out.
I got to tell you now, if I was the coach too, you know what he'd be doing right here?
You would say you don't want to let up, but you don't want to, in this particular case, yeah, you don't need to risk any injury for this kid.
Fair catch it.
Yeah.
Go out there and catch the ball.
High snap. Brought down by Kanan. No chance to return this one. "48-yard punt." Well, getting prepared for this game, you were raving about their first-round pick, Jake Matthews, the tackle out of Texas A&M, out of that incredible football family. What have you seen tonight, Phil?
Well, I think he's been outstanding tonight, too. We didn't really get a chance to talk about him. Little switch block that time. Pins the corner inside early in the game. Steven Jackson. And his pass blocking has been outstanding. Nice job. Look at that athletic ability down the field. How about that block against Lansana?
Well, we got T.J. Yates in at quarterback. It's going to be it for Matt Ryan. Oh, what a hit that was on Rodgers. It was Barron who collided with him. We were talking about the Matthews family tree, and it all started with Clay Sr.
Right
just
there.
down the road at Georgia Tech. He played for Bobby Dodd. We showed you earlier Bobby Dodd Stadium.
Clay Sr. looks like Mike Ditka a little bit, doesn't he?
Oh, man.
Or Jerry Richardson. That's the
There
other
you
guy
go.
looks like.
Of course, Clay Jr. and then Bruce.
But, you know, Jake Matthews out of the game. Fought his way back on the field. Had an injury to his ankle.
As they hand it off again to Rodgers. And again, Matt Ryan is out, done for the night. And he's going to end up setting the Falcons' single game record for completion percentage. 87.5% tonight on 21 out of 24.
It's good to get him out. Great confidence boost for this offense. That's an understatement. But your quarterback gets to play. Really didn't take any hits. And Jake Matthews went to left tackle. It really just solidifies the offensive line. And when he played, it was only a quarter and a half. But that quarter and a half against New Orleans Saints, it was a clinic. And it was a really good night tonight for him also.
And Yates on 3rd and 6, the former Texans quarterback. Lofts that one down the field and hits his man, Weems, on the run. And the ball rolls out of bounds. They rule him down at the 36, a gain of 40.
Blitz by the defense. Oh, man, what a move at the line of scrimmage. That's what it's all about. Wide receivers, who wins at the line of scrimmage or who's more physical. And Alteron Werner did not even get a hand on him, completely missed him as he was trying to bump him at the line of scrimmage. That was a fumble.
Weems, who had all of 1 catch last season at Chicago. He's got 3 catches tonight. Matt Ryan loving that. Yates, his first throw as a Falcon, goes for 40. Anton Smith dropped for a loss of 2. 7 touchdowns for Atlanta on the night versus 4 first downs for the Bucs. And how about the different ways they've scored those 7 touchdowns? A punt return, interception return, an end around with Hester. 3 touchdown passes, including a 40-yard throw to Julio Jones. And Hester had those cramps in the first half. He's limping on the sideline again. 2 minutes to go in the third, 2nd and 12. And Smith, blocker in front, already turns the corner. And Tampa is flat-footed. That is an embarrassment right there as he takes it all the way to the house. 38 yards. You got to give some credit to Peter Kahns for the block, but Tampa, how do they let this one go all the way?
Gabe Karimi gets the seal. Peter Kahns comes out. It was like a clinic. That's one of those plays you put on your reel and say, this is how we want to run this play. It was perfect.
Where's the Tampa defense, Tampa Bay defense on that play? 8 touchdowns. 5 of them have come from 20 yards and out. Hester's going in. They put up 21 in the first quarter, 14 in the second, 21 more here in the third. We still have another quarter to play, and it's only 56-6.
Well, Jim, it started with the offense of the Saints. We wondered, could you pressure Matt Ryan? We said in the opening, the answer is no. And when they did, his movement just opened up receivers wide open. Anticipates the inside throw to Julio Jones. And this one, that might be the play of the night. The throw, the record. They had a good disguise that time on the defensive side. They tried to fool Matt Ryan. He looked down the middle field. He goes, oh, wait, I see something. He saw the one-on-one to the right and made a great adjustment through the pass, and Julio Jones catch. That'll be on TV a lot. Highlights. We need to adjust to the football. You know, the good thing for the Atlanta Falcons, they got some extra days where they'll get over the excitement of what they've done here tonight. They'll get them back to work next week before their next game.
Well, the thing about Tampa Bay is this was the start of a 3-game road trip. It's not sure they get a little extra time to prepare for the next one, but they're not home for a while playing the games. They'll be at Pittsburgh and then at New Orleans. And the sting of this performance, it'll be hard to let go of it. Bosher bashes that one all the way through the back of the end zone. Now here's the interesting thing about Atlanta's schedule. Okay, they have between now and November 23rd, they have 2 home games, but one of their quote-unquote home games is at Wembley Stadium in London. So between tonight and November 23rd, the only game they have here is just the one occasion It's against Chicago in the middle of October.
That's tough.
Think about that. Between now and the weekend before Christmas, one more game on this field. The weekend before Thanksgiving, I should say. You see Rich McKay on the left.
Right here, yeah.
Dimitrov next to him, and then Arthur Blank, the owner.
Well, look, this is a big year. They were on Hard Knocks. Not that makes it a big year, but the Falcons were one play from the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and then last year the team fell apart. Really, there were a couple plays. Matt Ryan, what he showed all the people here, that he's tough because he took some beating throwing the football last year.
Glennon to Rainey in a first down. We saw Arthur Blank, and they're in the process of building this new stadium that abuts this complex.
Right.
Yeah, this Georgia Dome hosts to 2 Super Bowls, 3 Final Fours, but in the fall of 2017 they'll have a new home just steps away from here. Rainey again, as well as the Braves are in the process of building a new park out in Cobb County. That's going to open also in 2017.
You know, too, though, just talk about this Falcons team, Jim. They tried to rebuild it. You saw it. Let's be physical. They got the offensive line. I think they fixed it. I really do. I think overall, I'm not saying it's one of the best, but it's good enough to get Matt Ryan enough time to throw to some open receivers because they're loaded at the receiver position, and the defensive line better tonight. That'll be a big key to this football team.
2nd and 5, and that's the way Rainey was running last week against St. Louis when he racked up 144. Picks up 8 with that one, but we're through 3 mercifully. And we'll return to Atlanta after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching Thursday Night Football. There you see it by quarter. Domination
55.
every step of the way. We start the 4th. Jim Nance, Phil Simms, Tracy Wilson, Mike Carey. And another mishap.
I think
It's again Dietrich Smith, who's been flagged a couple times in this half, and
I think he thought Mike Glennon was underneath the center. I don't know how he
had to have.
Yes, that's what he snapped it right up there.
At a sink.
Hey, Bobo, 55.
There's a lot of other words for what's going on.
2nd and 12, and here they come, and ball's out. They're going to call it incomplete. He got walloped by Prince Shembo from behind. Incomplete.
Well, they made a mistake. The offensive line blocked down to the right. Nobody there.
Was that ball out of his hand?
I think it's
was
a
it throwing
fumble.
motion?
You can review this. I would think.
You're Mike Smith. Do you even want to do that?
You know, honestly, I don't. I would say no. I'd say
you got to play him again later in the year. You know. Hey.
I think Mike Smith was on the sideline asking some of the coaches.
3rd and 12. And Glennon again underneath. Rainey stopped the yard short. We'll go for it here. Mike Evans looking on the left side. Mike Evans is limping to the sideline. Russell Shepard comes in for him. 4th and a yard. Will stay spread. Rainey somehow got through a tiny crease. Picks up the 1st.
Good timing. Ishmael waited to the last second. He knew the check was going to make a run to his right and just came up and couldn't quite make the tackle.
So from 3rd and 12, they get it up to 4th and a yard and then convert. New set of downs at the 42. And they salvage a small bit of pride by avoiding a shutout. Over the top, Rainey. You could see that collision coming. Robert McLean. But Rainey so shifty, he avoided a really hard blow. Gain 6.
Well, it's a good work for your backup quarterback. And, you know, they got to sit there and actually think what's going on with Josh McCown. How bad is his thumb?
Yeah, he may not be the backup quarterback. Talking about Glennon. Again. As he throws. Rainey slips out of a tackle and a second one. Down to the 22. By the way, we talked about our doubleheader day on Sunday, but let's show you the complete slate of 1 o'clock games Eastern time on both CBS and Fox. The next broadcast window for the league this Sunday, 1 o'clock. Check your local listings for the game in your area.
That play that we just saw Rainey make, that's what we saw the first couple of weeks. Just making extra yards, breaking tackles, making the right reads.
First down, Glennon. Got time, but there's a flag out. Maybe that's why he had time. As Glennon takes off, already with a 19-yard scramble. That one goes for 10.
Ill use of hands. Offense number 69. Hands to the face. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
You know, we got Mike Carey up here in the booth, and I want to go to him. Hey, Mike, do you, as an official, in situations like this, do you have a little compassion and let some of these penalties go?
No, not till it gets with about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Right now, you have to keep all the metal down because desperation happens, frustration happens, and so some of those aggressive fouls can happen. You want to make sure you stay on top of the game.
And every official is still getting graded on every play, even regardless of the score, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So you really have to kind of keep playing, do your thing throughout, I would think. 1st and 20 now after the flag against the Bucs. And sliding away from the pressure and completing the throw to Myers.
You know, one time, Jim, I played the game where we really beat the other team by a very large score, and the coach accused Bill Parcells of running up the score. And you know, we had defensive touchdowns, all that, whatever. What are you going to do? He goes, well, is it my job to coach your team too?
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, I mean, that's, and I just went, that said it all. He goes, I got to start worrying about your team. You know, so.
Well, the Atlanta
big boy league
defense, first time tonight that they have been challenged. They have not allowed a touchdown in 19 straight games, which is they have allowed at least one touchdown in 19 straight games. Longest streak in the league. And now Tampa inches closer. That was Vincent Jackson's first catch.
Well, a little energy in this game here. You know, look, it's 56-0. I understand that, but this Falcon defense, there is that 0 on the board. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they get together. They're talking about that. Still got a lot of starters out there.
The throw to Jackson was enough for the first gain of 12. Again, his first catch of the night. As Glennon has his backup tight. No, it's Myers, his starter. He's hit Stocker a couple of times, has Glennon, and now Myers has another catch. 3 on the game. That one goes for another 9. Got 4 catches for Myers. 2nd and 1. From the 4.
Hey, 36 is the white. 36.
Go up the middle. Squirming near the first down is Rainey. Again, no Doug Martin tonight. Martin having that remarkable rookie year in 2012. But last year was IR mid-season, early season actually, with a shoulder. And then tweaked the knee in the opener this year against Carolina. There's Doug Martin.
And, you know, good decision. Doug Martin, Gerald McCoy, when in doubt, you know, give them that extra rest so they can be ready. Sometimes when you play and you try to fight your way through it, the injury never heals. You fight it all year long.
3rd and 1. Winning to the end zone, and are both feet down? Yes, touchdown for Tampa Bay. Vincent Jackson.
Well, Alford's got to be upset. It looked like we're a long ways away, but did Vincent Jackson straighten his arms out and push him in to the defensive? Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh boy, definitely looked like he may have pushed off there.
And then he's
did a good job though getting the feet down.
Yep.
And using that 6'5" frame to his advantage, but
he definitely pushed off. And
let's bring in Mike Carey. Mike,
is that right?
What do you think,
Mike?
Yeah, I think he got away with one. But, you know, it happens at this time of the game.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's upsetting, though. I understand Alford being upset by it because you're one-on-one against Vincent Jackson. He's 6'5" and got long arms, and he used them.
Extra point by Patrick Murray. Here's the state capitol here in Atlanta on quite a night for the Falcons. Coming up after the game, the Mazda post-game show. Interviews and analysis right after the game. Murray's, actually they bring out their punter to handle the kickoff chores. Touchback by Kanan. 56 points tonight, the second most points in Atlanta history. That's 62 points. 41 years ago this week, Dick Shiner leading the Falcons in a romp over the Saints. DJ Yates will hand it off here.
Well, one thing we noticed tonight, we talked about at halftime, I don't think I've ever watched an NFL game where receivers were so wide open all over the field. Look at the area where there's nobody around them as they catch the ball. And we're going to show you a couple. We had about 15 of them to choose from. So
Julio Jones is finished for the night.
good game plan by the Falcons, throwing the football. Some of the things just to go back, no pressure by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers front on Matt Ryan. And of course, a very talented group of receivers here in Atlanta.
Their 2-yard run by Freeman. Devontae for no gain this time. You know, we talked about Phil's top 5 last week, which was throwers of the football. Tonight, your Phil's 5 super freak receivers.
Super freaks. That means they're big talent. They put it on the field. Brandon Marshall, number 4. You saw it. A.J. Green tied for second with the guy here tonight, Julio Jones. And the number 1, Calvin Johnson. I keep thinking Calvin Johnson's going to slow down a little bit. I've watched him, especially that first game, fast, looks, you know, showing no effects of being in the league as long as he has been. But those guys are physically dominating, smart, and they apply it all to the field.
3rd and 8, intercepted, and the Buccaneers have another touchdown. Danny Lansana. DJ Yates gives up the pick 6.
Well, Lansana, number 51, they do like him. Aggressive, can really tackle. Watching to the right of the screen, here he is. Comes off of his guy and then reads the quarterback and makes the interception.
Well, this is a guy just been looking for a chance.
Well, he's fighting. Now they played him because him and Jonathan Casillas are kind of rotating at that linebacker position, and you know, you let it play out. The good thing about playing linebacker in this league, you can play more than one guy at a position.
How about Lansana? He played a little bit for Seattle back in 08, and he was out of the NFL for 5 years. Tampa Bay signed him right at the end of last season. He played in only 1 game, week 17.
Hard to believe. Really.
And he played with enough effort. They brought him back to camp, and he earned a spot on this team. And tonight, He comes out, makes the interception with the return for the touchdown. Well, 14 points for the Buccaneers here in the fourth quarter. Danny Lansana with the run back of a TJ Yates pass for the touchdown.
Atlanta ready for an onside kick. I do not think there will be one.
Heenan sends it right through. And they'll bring it out to the 20, but 7 minutes to go. It was 56-0. Freeman is the running back behind Yates. He could have been tackled for a loss, but he's able to gain about 3. We also had a mic tonight on Levante David, the linebacker who was an All-Pro last year of Tampa Bay.
Rock it, rock it.
We fight, all right? So you're hard now, all right?
And we want to thank Levante David, the Tampa Bay staff, as well as Coach Mike Smith on the Atlanta side, for allowing us to eavesdrop a couple of times on him tonight. 2nd and 7. And again, it's Freeman. This time no gain. Let's go down to Tracy.
Well, thanks, Jim. Devin Hester still in the locker room dealing with those cramps. They're giving him an IV and some fluids. They want to get him back out here. He's not going to play, but they want him part of this celebration after this win. And I was talking to Deion Sanders a little bit ago, and he said that Hester came up to him before the game and said, I'm going to break your record. I want you in the end zone so I can give you the ball. Well, he wasn't in the end zone when he broke the record, so you can bet that he wants to see Deion after this game. So let's just keep an eye on that tunnel and see if he's able to make it back out here, guys.
How about that? There's Deion. Yeah, I think the return happened too close to halftime. So Deion and the crew, JB, Coach Cowher, Tony Gonzalez, they were getting set up for their halftime performance. We got a timeout called by the Falcons. Now the graphic changes tonight. 2nd total return touchdowns. 6 career punt returns for touchdowns. 8, or make that 9 picks. Run back 53 interceptions. And it's Hall of Fame career.
Never had a chance to play against Deion Sanders, and if I did, probably would be the same instructions I got when I played the Washington Redskins and Darryl Green. And that was, Sims, don't even think about throwing the ball his way.
Got a first down off of that throw. Pass to Courtney Roby.
I would say to him, Jim, I'd say, what do you want me to do if they double team the other receiver? And he goes, still don't go that way. Darryl Green, Deion Sanders, Mike Haynes. I mean, there's many great corners, but some of these guys, hard to challenge them. And I always say, oh, you got to challenge them sometimes. Well, why do you want to challenge the best player in the other team? Just go against. The game plan is always go to the weakness of the defense.
Which is going to raise the point we're going to see Richard Sherman this weekend as we head to Seattle. With Peyton and Denver against the Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
Encroachment. Defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
You know, we were talking about Hester and Deion, and we showed you earlier tonight. There's Billy White Shoes Johnson, who electrified the Atlanta fans. Here's our throwback Thursday. Of course, he had 7 years with the Houston Oilers, 6 years here in Atlanta. He was amazing. You also remember some Hail Mary action at the end of some games.
Great uniforms.
It was awesome to watch as Freeman is within a couple of the first down. Reminds me, this is one of the, as far as towns go with great sports nicknames, Atlanta might be right up there as the best. You have the likes of Pistol Pete, Primetime Deion,
right?
The human highlight reel, Dominique Wilkins.
Yep.
Matty Ice.
Matty Ice, there you go.
And of course, Hammerin' Hank.
Oh, sure. Boy. Man. Matty Ice.
Three's the mic. Three's the mic. Ready?
2nd and 2.
Blue, wake up.
And that's backed up for a loss of a couple for Freeman. Next Thursday, your football week starts here. We're going to go to the NFC East for the Giants and the Redskins. Another big-time matchup in prime time. Thursday night football on CBS and the NFL Network next Thursday from Washington.
Looking forward to watching both of those teams. Redskins kind of have righted the ship. The thing that jumps out about the Redskins is their defense has played very well to start this year out.
Arthur Blank has come down to the sideline. Have a little chat with his quarterback. 3rd and 4. 3.5 to go. And DeMarco has a catch for the 3rd time tonight. By the way, speaking of catching, it is a huge performance by Julio Jones. And he had a little talk with us. You know, we had the honor of doing the Madden game here for a number of years. And give the guy a little break, will you? He wanted you to pick up the commentary a little bit on his performance in Madden and give him a little better time with the stopwatch.
No, Lee, first off, I talked very well about him in the game. He gets mad because his speed is not rated.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm not the guy that rates the speed.
You got the wrong department.
But that is really the number one thing we hear from all the players. Hey, I'm faster than that, you know, so that complaint is universal.
I don't think he believed us when we told him. That's actually not something that we have any responsibility for, but I sense he wanted to show us a little bit of that speed tonight.
What I said, you know, I tried to, it's hard sometimes to talk to him because you're trying to ask a question in a polite way. I said, you know, when you've come to, did you speed up in the NFL over college? And he goes, he did. What was his answer? Man, I've always been fast. And because we didn't get to see the explosions and the talent in college. Yeah, they used him well in Alabama, but this is wide open here in Atlanta. This offense, he's featured, and man, he just makes big plays every week.
2nd and 10. And Freeman moves the Atlanta offense total to 490 yards on the night. You take the week 1, 568 against the Saints, and now this one. Those are 2 of the 3 highest performances by yardage in the league here early in the season.
What I like about their wide receiver group is they got energy. You know, you see on the field, you can tell the energy, all of them. They're full speed, thinking they're going to get the football on every play.
Got the 2-minute warning. Back in just a moment. You're watching Thursday Night Football. Coming up next is the Mazda post-game show. Interviews and analysis of tonight's game, and a nod to all the crew here tonight. Lance Barrow, Mike Arnold. They've emptied the bucket here tonight. Now they're going to reload it, and we're going to all head to the great state of Washington for Seattle's hosting of Denver on Sunday.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it. You know, we saw the Super Bowl last year, and there's a lot of time. I know it doesn't seem that long ago, but a lot can change during an off-season and early year for football teams, and I think Denver's made a lot of changes for the sole reason to compete against a team like Denver and do like Seattle and do better the second time around.
Well, they really kind of rebuilt that defense after the shellacking they took in the Super Bowl, and speed was really the point of emphasis.
Got to have speed.
Marcus Ware,
right.
Aqib Talib, and physicality too. TJ Ward.
Got to chase a fast quarterback. You got to be physical. And they also changed their offensive line because they got a little overpowered in the Super Bowl. So, you know, when you lose a big game like that, what you do is you see what standard you have to go to maybe win the Super Bowl. And that's why you make changes. It's motivating to the players, and you're going to change your tactics in the game also, so it's going to be fun to watch.
Bosher to punt for the 2nd time tonight. They'll back him up 5 yards. You know what I'm seeing that game early is
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
How the Denver receivers will handle things off the snap. Will they be able to somehow win that battle right there at the line of scrimmage to somehow be able to create some sort of separation. There was nothing there for them in that Super Bowl.
I'm always curious about strategy and what you plan on doing to counteract what happened in that Super Bowl. So I think both teams will do something different. There you go. Especially the Denver Broncos.
Fair catch at the 12 course. Wes Welker will be back for the Broncos. And Russell Wilson and the Seahawks off to a 1-1 start, but this is what happened in the Super Bowl. There was a run back here for a touchdown. That first snap that went sailing over the head of Peyton.
I think one thing they found out,
Harvin with a run back.
if you hold the football too long, trying to throw the ball down the field for big plays, pretty tough against this defense, especially in Seattle.
I mentioned earlier the first rematch of a Super Bowl the following regular season since Packers and Patriots back in 1997. We were talking about Matt Ryan at home tonight at the very start. Russell Wilson 16-1 in his career at home in the regular season. As they toss it over to Myers. Now Tampa Bay will again have the 3 extra days of rest coming off this Thursday performance, and then road games at Pittsburgh, at New Orleans, before being back home against Baltimore. One other thing about this game on Sunday we're going to see is you got 1 minute and 14 to go, 2nd and 6, and Glennon's going to go down back at the 5. That was Massaquoi along with Mapunga. They both have made plays tonight.
Got to give them confidence. They did get some pressure on the quarterback during the night, and multiple players were back there. That's something they were talking about. They wanted to see pressure on the quarterback. They haven't had it. They did tonight.
McCown, who injured his thumb in the first half, but a nod to the Chargers for that win over the Super Bowl champs on Sunday. Phillip Rivers and Antonio Gates combining for 3 touchdowns. Brady up the middle. And that should do it. Let's hope so.
It's over?
Yes.
It's so quick.
I've never seen you so happy.
Sometimes ahead for the Tampa Bay for the next 10 days, trying to right this ship again.
Well, people are wondering, you know, Atlanta just a season removed from being 1 play away from going to the Super Bowl, and then they plummeted last year to 4-12. Could they rebound back to those days when they were getting those multiple double-digit win years?
Well, they have an off season where they all worked hard, and the sting of the season ending so quick gives you motivation. So that loss in Cincinnati last week was upsetting, and they corrected that, of course, here tonight against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Saw a shot of Logan Mankins. Boy, this is something he's not accustomed to. Well, he's been in games like this, but he's been on the other side of it.
On the other side. But this game gives a lot of confidence to the Atlanta Falcons. Everything they've worked to do during the offseason here early in the year, they accomplished here tonight.
2nd highest point total in Atlanta team history. Final score is 56-14.